Welcome to Liverpool FC Journal, guys. I'm OW James. This is your Liverpool news update. We're talking all things LFC this morning, guys. And if you've just found this brand new independent fan channel, guys, please obviously smash a like on the video and obviously subscribe as well so you never miss out on the content. Right, we're going to talk Ryan Gravenberch and his possible new contract. We're going to talk Ibou Konate. Yes, we've got more Konate contract saga. It's getting just like a bit of a soap opera, isn't it? What will he? Won't he? We'll find out very, very shortly, no doubt. We've also got a bit of Andy Robertson as well. Look, let's get into the Andy Robertson stuff first. Andy Robertson obviously captained Scotland last night. They won 4-2. They qualified for the World Cup. Obviously, congratulations to Scotland for qualifying for the World Cup. I ain't really bothered when we're watching the World Cup, don't really care. But what we are going to talk about is Andy Robertson. Obviously, he's a Liverpool player, and Andy was absolute classic after the game last night. A very emotional Andy Robertson spoke to the media post Scotland's victory in qualification, and this is what he had to say, and this is why I'm featuring this story on the Liverpool FC Journal this morning. Couldn't get my mate Diogo Jota out of my head today. We spoke so much together about the World Cup. I know he'll be smiling over me today. I'm so glad it's ended up this way, with obviously Scotland qualifying automatically for next summer's World Cup. He went on to talk about how him and Diogo had obviously spoken about the World Cup and spoken about playing at the World Cup. He spoke about how Diogo missed out due to injury, and he spoke about how much it would have meant to Diogo to get to the World Cup. But you know what? You've got to say absolute top respect to Andy for remembering, obviously, Diogo. And look, it is something that will continue to affect these players, I think, long term. It's going to continue to affect the fan base long term as well. I think, obviously the death of Diogo was such a shock to everybody, but nice of Andy to be thinking about his mate at that time, obviously qualifying for the World Cup. And as I said, obviously we always think of Diogo and thank him for all he did, always and forever. R20. Right, look, obviously congratulations as well go out to obviously the Netherlands. They've qualified. Germany have qualified. There's a number of our players who will be going to the World Cup in the USA, and obviously in Canada and Mexico and wherever the hell else it is, Guatemala, El Salvador, I don't know, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, all over the world it sounds like it's going to be. Anyway, who cares? But look, congratulations to Robbo and the Scottish national team on their qualification. The big thing, of course, is we are fast approaching the return to domestic action. And at the end of the day, look, it is what is our main focus. It is obviously that game on Saturday against Nottingham Forest. So much transfer news swilling and swirling around. The Semenyo and Guehi stuff is continuing. Mark Guehi to Liverpool. Lots of people talking about the fact that stories are indicating that Mark Guehi has given his word and that he will join Liverpool next summer. Obviously, there's talks as well. Liverpool interested in getting Semenyo into Anfield in January. Now, news that came out earlier today, which was that that release clause that we've spoken about on yesterday's video, the £65 million release clause for Antoine Semenyo, must be activated within the first 2 weeks of the window. Now, Semenyo is not away at the AFCON with Ghana in that period, so obviously negotiating with him and his people and Bournemouth will be a whole lot easier than if he was out at that tournament. I've got to say, I did have to laugh reading on social media, Manchester United fans thinking they've got a realistic opportunity of getting Mark Guehi and Antoine Semenyo ahead of Liverpool. It's comedy. It's comedy. The funniest one, of course, would be when Man United come knocking, it's a different kind of knock. Yeah, it's a fucking hide behind the sofa kind of knock, isn't it? It's the same as when the sorry, my dog's making a noise in the background. It's the same as when the Jehovah's turn up, isn't it, at the door? You hide behind there, or the TV license man. You hide behind the sofa, don't you? You don't pay up, or you don't want to talk about God to the Jehovah's. So there we go. Anyway, look, I think there's a great chance we get both Semenyo and Guehi. I think Guehi more likely in the summer. Semenyo very much, I think, a good opportunity should we want to take it in January. I think for me, it's got to be one that gets done this January. Liverpool have got to act quickly to get that over the line, in my opinion. Right, this is on Ibou Konate. This is the very latest on Ibou Konate. And this comes via the very reliable source of Sasha Tovaglieri, the Italian football journalist. A man almost Fabrizio Romano-esque in his comments and in what he has to say. So Sasha Tovaglieri has confirmed that Liverpool have presented their final contract offer to Ibou Konate. Yes, that's right, guys. Drum roll. Suspenseful music plays. It is the final countdown. Da-da-da-da. Yes, those of you remember that song. Those of you remember, who are old enough to remember Europe, the final countdown. It's a final offer at Liverpool. Ibou Konate's situation is now clear. Proposal currently on the table will be the last one proposed by the Reds, who believe they have been very generous with the Frenchman, who has made many calls to Real Madrid in recent months, still flirting with the rock of the France team. If Konate accepts the proposed terms, he will become one of the highest paid players in the squad, led by Arne Slot, a sign of total confidence placed in him more than ever. The Frenchman must make a choice, accept what he has, or wait to get what he has always wanted to have, which is the chance to play for Le Merengue. So, it appears that obviously playing for Real Madrid is something that Ibou has wanted, but obviously the opportunity to stay at one of the biggest clubs in world football, compete for trophies and be a very highly paid player is the other proposal. Now, no word as yet on what the terms of this deal will be, and I very much doubt we'll actually find out any set terms. I think there's a lot of rumour swirls around, isn't there, about football players' salaries and whatever, but, who knows. Now, personally speaking, I think anything between 200 and 240, 250, at the very highest end is more than generous enough to Konate. Anything higher than 240, 250, I think is just ridiculous for a player who has always been consistently inconsistent. A player who has never consistently been amazing, has always had games where he's just gone, oh, yeah, not great. And this season he's had far too many, oh, yeah, not great moments. So, look, it's up in the air still, but it looks like this is a take it or leave it deal. Now, it does remain to be seen that if, for example, Ibou Konate was to reject this deal, what would he do? What would Liverpool do? Is it a case of January comes, he doesn't agree this deal and we turn around and try and sell him? Or do we tell him that, look, you either go or you ride the bench and then try getting in Didier Deschamps' World Cup plans if you're riding the bench, Ibou? I think that would be the way I would go, certainly. But it looks like the saga of the Konate contract is finally coming to an end. So, guys, I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think is a fair weekly wage for Ibou Konate? And do you actually want him to re-sign or do you want Liverpool to look elsewhere? Look, no matter what happens with Ibou Konate, I firmly believe that we do need to secure at least another couple of centre-backs going forward to add to this squad, whether that be a Schlotterbeck, a Guehi, a Bastoni, a Collins, or whoever. We do need to add to the squad. Now, one of Liverpool's key players last season, and still I think into this season, we've seen when he's been absent how key he is Ryan Gravenberch. Look, Grav, for me, has been one of Liverpool's best players over the last 18 months, playing phenomenal football. And I think we saw at the start of this season how much he was missed and what a big loss he was to the team. We certainly looked better. I mean, I did hear an absolutely incredible statistic earlier today, which was that out of all the players in the Premier League, Ryan Gravenberch has the most accurate shot and is the most accurate at converting chances, which if you consider the likes of Erling Haaland, plays in the EPL. Mo Salah plays in the EPL. It's pretty incredible that Ryan Gravenberch is the most accurate. However, look, apparently Gravenberch turned down a big money move in the summer to Saudi, which, look, he'd be stupid to go out there when he's in the prime of his career, to go basically to a retirement league, give it 10 years and maybe that's the best place for Grav. Go out to Saudi, make your money, or go to the MLS, make your money, fair enough. But not now. Not when you can still compete for Europe's top prizes. You stay at one of Europe's biggest clubs. Now, according to reports coming out of Liverpool and, of course, from some top sources like Tovaglieri, like Nicolo Shearer in this case, another Italian sports journalist guru with transfers, it's emerged that Liverpool are very close to agreeing a new long-term deal with Ryan Gravenberch, which will tie him down to the club to around about 2030, which is excellent news to get a player so outstanding and keep him long term. Look, I mean, for me, tying him up, tying Sobo up, tying Mac up to long-term contracts are absolutely key in terms of moving this club forward. I mean, what a midfield those three make up, and I think getting them secured is absolutely vital going forward. Should we obviously secure this deal, we'll obviously bring you the news here on Liverpool FC Journal. Guys, look, we are trying to grow a channel. We're trying to build a brand new channel. We're working hard every day to bring you content. We're also working hard to start to put together live podcasts for you, live game streams, shorts, polls, everything to get you involved. So please obviously smash a like on the video and obviously sub as well, and ring the bell so you never miss out on the content when we drop videos. That's the best way to obviously to get involved with the channel. Right, look, Saturday's huge. For me, the next 4 or 5 games are absolutely massive for this club. You know, Champions League, PSV, obviously Inter coming up, but those domestic games for me are absolutely vital. You know, getting 3 points, getting 3 points in every game over the next few weeks and month is, for me, absolutely essential to get the season back on track. You know, if you look, obviously we play Forest Saturday before PSV in the Champions League, but just focusing for a moment on the next 5 domestic games, taking out the PSV and Inter games. You know, Forest at home, West Ham away, Sunderland at home, Leeds away, Brighton at home. You've got to look at 5 games there and say it's got to be 15 points. There can be no more slip-ups. You know, there can be no more worrying moments. There can be no more games where you sit there and go, what the hell did I just watch? How did that just happen? You know, starting on Saturday against Forest, it's got to be 3 points. Then West Ham away. Recent times, we've got a good record at their new stadium. 3 points there. Sunderland at home will be tough. Look, Sunderland are doing really well this season. Much respect to them for how they've started the season. But, you know, realistically, a club like Liverpool should not be worrying about a club like Sunderland coming to Anfield. It should be 3 points. Leeds away, again, newly promoted, struggling, 3 points. And Brighton at home should be 3 points. For me, it's got to be 15 points going in to they're coming out of those 5 games. Any less than 15, and you have to start to ask a lot of questions. Any defeats in those 5, and again, questions will need to start to be asked. Guys, let me know your thoughts on those games and how many points you think Liverpool will get and how much you think is acceptable for Liverpool coming out of those 5 games. Thank you for watching Liverpool FC Journal. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.